I'm fascinated by music and I love playing music, but I wouldn't call myself technically proficient. So in a way I design instruments for myself knowing that they're going to be easily used. First I was starting to create instruments for people to play, so very user-friendly instruments that non-musicians, children, students could play. Now I've started working on electronic instruments and robotic instruments that again have very easy user-friendly interfaces so that I can take them out onto the street and they can be worked on straight away with the public. I make an instrument called a polyharp, so it's like a stringed instrument that uses polystyrene and fishing wire to create like a harp instrument that can be played. Usually when I go to a site, I take a small amount of equipment that will become the basis for the larger project, and I don't really know what I'm going to do until I actually get to a site. For example, when I went to Thailand, I thought that I was going to be doing interactive musical performance with a local orphanage, and that fell through because I couldn't get permission from the orphanage when I was there, and what I ended up doing was robotic percussion workshops with Buddhist monks, which I wouldn't have foreseen in 100 years. So what I've got the monks to do is basically walk around the temple collecting rubbish, and then we used those pieces of rubbish to create drum kits and various percussive objects, and then I did a quick workshop and taught them how to use the robotics. So we started off doing indoor workshops, and then we took it out to the playground because we're going to use the playground as a large-scale drum kit. But we got chased out of the playground by the head monk who was meditating. So we got chased into the forest, which is like a very Buddhist parable of some sorts. And the monks absolutely loved it. I think part of becoming a monk in Thailand is that you're not allowed to play a musical instrument. I think the only musical culture they have in the temple is vocals and the occasional gong. So yeah, they didn't want to stop. Using kind of electronic developments that I'm interested in, where a lot of the instruments are just triggered by touch, so you don't have to strum them or play them, and that's one of the methods that I'm exploring in Kochi. I've made a large-scale, room-sized, I guess you could call it a sampler, where I've collected different objects from around the exhibition space, which is called Aspen Wall. So plants and metallic objects, and I've got them suspended, and I've got some floor-based, and basically just by touching these objects they can trigger different sounds. The objects are connected by wires to a mini computer, and if you take your shoes off and touch the ground, then you complete an electrical circuit and you can trigger sounds stored on the computer. One thing I'm going to be doing there is I'm going to be doing a series of performances using a motorised tuk-tuk, which is going to be equipped with a series of percussive robotic modules, and they're interactive rather than just playing. You can actually create rhythms straight away. The tuk-tuk will be driving around Kochi picking up passengers who will be playing the instruments live on board. For me, this whole experience of travelling through Asia doing these projects has been really great, because I do find it easier working in Asia. One of the biggest reasons is a lot of Asian countries have a much different idea of how public space is utilised. It's not so strange if you set up on the street and start playing music and draw a crowd, and it doesn't seem so unusual.